Alright then, because sorry about that delay everyone. Because here with a surprise podcast tonight is because it's Shinigami, and tonight we are going to be doing a broadcast of the Walty Kings game against Narwhals in the Tier 3 quarterfinals. Because this game was meant to happen on Saturday and I was meant to cast it, but things came up, and so we're going to do it now instead. Alright then, because this is a very interesting game, because this is also going to be our first podcast of the season, and this is going to be an interesting game, because one of these teams has went for the season unbeaten, because which is the EU side of the Walty Kings, and I personally have not seen much of them, so I'm interested to see what they give us tonight. Alright then. Alright, sorry about that, because we're going to start off on Nepal. And we will see how this series goes.
Traveling to Nepal. Ready for battle.
Alright, okay, because this was of course played on Saturday, so we're using Saturday's map pool, which is completely different. And so we're starting off on Nepal, because I'm expecting to see more ball comms. Because we did see because we did see Narwhals beat the sister org of Kings 3-0. Because that's the story was of course the Walty Queens. Alright then, so off we go, because we are seeing the male, because we are seeing the typical male, we've seen the typical male Reinhardt Wishcom from Narwhals that we saw last week, and on the side of things we are seeing the Reinhardt Zarya, because similar to what you prefer. Because I personally prefer the symmetry comp on this map, because it gives you good point control. But as we saw last week against Cleans, because Wonderful on that May is just a menace basically, because he has put a lot of good teams to the sword. Because with his big ice walls and the absolute aggression of his main type Obi-Wan. Alright, because this has been a good start for Kings, because of the single comp, because they did win their first fight but easily, and it looks like they're going to win the second fight. Because that's just a lot of damage up front, so because of the Zarya, Reaper and Symmetra, because that's very hard to deal with. Alright, okay, because we are seeing the swap up Narwhals, because they're getting it off the McCree and changing to the Echo. Because which is to take advantage of the lack of range in the King's comp, which I think is a perfect good idea. Because we do have a Nano online, so I'm expecting kind of good at that. It's just another fantastic ice ball, Wonderful. But this fight's not over, the window is new, the battle is new, and everything is new by Kings. They do not want to lose this fight. And now both tanks are now winning, and the sound barrier is moved by Quiz Plus, because to try and bring this back, but the similar damage is too much. Because that's a fantastic Death Blossom of Wubu to end the fight. But a lot of votes for news on both sides. And so as the Old Bank Company stands, because Narwhals only have the male and Kings only have the Shatter. Because I'm expecting Wonderful to get a lot of value with it. But Narwhals do need to get to the point first. Oh, that is a 2 Shatter in the back of Salty Ducks. It's a very risky play to do, but he definitely makes it work. And there's the Queen up with the Salty Ducks. And that's the first one going to Walty Kings. Alright, okay, because I just think that's the power of the Symmetra, honestly. Because ever since those turrets got the buff and crossflare, because they've caused a lot of havoc, and a lot of Kings have not learned how to deal with them effectively. Alright, but now we go to Sanctum, which is a more open map, so I'm expecting to see more of a pro conf. And that is what we're seeing off the side of Kings, because with the Orisa Hog. But they are keeping the Reaper and they're bringing in a Soldier. But on the side of the Narwhals, because they're going with the Scimitar there. Because which does make sense to me. Which makes sense to me because they're clearly comfortable in Brawl. And they clearly think that the last round was just a mishap, so let's see if they can make it work this time. Alright, because Immortality is forced out early by Kings. It's a very even battle so far. Because both sides are just walking into that pick. It's a good TP onto point. Because the most important thing is point control. Because Dynamite manages to kill ants, because that must have been it. Like, another good Maywall when the goal. It's a fantastic Immortality field off Charles so to keep up with Orisa. But that's just too much upfront damage off the Zarya. It's alright, because that's a big hook that Salty dubs, but Lucio can more wide, so he saves up to that. Alright, but Morty Kings are now turning this fight with the use of Window and just the further damage of Warthog, and now they have Wards in the fight with their Winter. Because Wendigo does get a kill on Lubu, but he does fall, and the flip goes to Walty Kings. Alright, okay, but we do have a lot of ults online for the side of Narwhals right now, because of the Shatter Window and some of them. I'm getting bored of Obi-Wan, he's a very aggressive line as we know from last week, so I'm excited to see what he can do. Because he's unable to get value there because Sound Value is going to apply Mercy to keep the Reaper up in the death watch room, and Rubu picks up 3, and that's another fight win for the side of Quality Kings. Oh, because the Lucio killing both supports as well, because as we all know, Lucio is partly a DPS hero. Alright, okay, so now Kings have got Supercharged in Visor, because this can do a lot of damage, but it's not really going to work in this enforced environment. But they are committing to the Supercharger, and they do get the kill on Obi-Wan who won't miss, and then the full A-Force to quite safe instead. Because this Brawl comp is not working for Narwhals at the moment, because they're finding it very difficult to get close enough to engage. Because Ant was a big pick on Wendigo. Let's get on board with Ant, and we drive it through the small up, rather than -0. But there's too much damage up to the wall, I'm going to sustain, and this is starting to look bad. Nail is new. Not really sure about that, because the rest of his team is dead, and they have to run up through a window to try and get it, but they are running out of time, so maybe it was a desperation move. Someone is backcapping though. Because Chris Boss gets a big boot on Charles, and that's the main source of the healing gone for Kings. But there's still too much damage with the Warthog Reaper on point. Because now my mistake, because Obi-Wan shattered Rubu out of his ult there, now he charges back in, but Sound Barrier is doing the Flying Mercy. And that should win them the fight, but that is a big boot. That's a big boot by Chris Cross on, because on his opposite for Flying Mercy, and now Wendigo is cleaning up on the Tracer, and that is fantastic for off Narwhals because they managed to bring it back from the Jordan TV. Fantastic play, to be honest. I did not expect them to pull that back. Because they also have the ult advantage as well, because Kings moved the Watt there to try and ensure the round win and map win. Alright, but this is a good location of Kings. It's going on the right hand side, but it is south by Mr. Zero. Yeah. He needs to watch his aggressive Obi-Wan because he's getting picked off a little bit too early. I think he's underestimating their damage perhaps. Okay, because Visor is moved by Ant, and he's just cleaning up the point, as the soldier can do when there's no shield on board, and that should be the round to map 1 to the side of Kings. Alright, okay, because that was a clash of two different styles, because Narwhals are just really trying to force this brawl comp that worked for them so well last week. Alright, but they're not getting this. Alright, but they are not getting the same success against Kings, because of their more pork style and the outstanding damage and the outstanding soldier damage by ants. And now we're going to go to map 2, which is Watchpoint Gibraltar, because I'd be very shocked if Narwhals tried to win ball on this.
Ready for battle.
Right, okay, because do we have any swaps of either sides? It looks like Kings have the same lineup, and so do Narwhals. Alright, okay, but we are going to see Dynamite's Ash, because he's a fantastic Ash player, because basically a couple of times I've watched him and seen it, I've watched him and faced him for because he really does move up to his namesake. Because I'm interested to see how he does today. Because Wonderful and Junkrat, because they clearly want to do a lot of spam damage, and Crisscross is on Baptiste, and Canada's in the Mercy. Because this is very typical comp, because I would say, because I'm sort of shocked that Obi-Wan is not on the OSA, but personal preference. But Salty Dubs is on the ball for the side of Kings, because they're sticking with their Reaper. And we do have a new support in, because Charles goes out and Mallet comes in to play down. Alright, because Kings don't care about the fight at top, they're just pushing it under, because that's and kills Dynamite. But Dynamite is wise, and Ash punishes that Mercy for him. And so no one gets in the fight. Because this is going to be very difficult for him to push into with his Sigma, especially for quarters. If it's for quarters, then I would always back the line out of his Sigma. Alright, because that's a great window for Crisscross. And Wonderful is losing it to the fullest, and he is now going to play. I haven't seen a lot of Junkrat play so far in these playoffs, so I'm very interested. I'm gonna get on board with Wonderful because I'm interested to see what he does with his fire. He messes up his jump there, but no one is needing, so he's got to stand. Because we do see Nano online for Kings, though, with Mallard. I'm not sure he was Nano at this comp. I would assume the Sigma, but Dynamite plays Voodoo and Bob gets caught outside. Voodoo is West, and Bob is moved by Dynamite because he's playing up first. Salty Dubs kills Wonderful, but he's without an attack to get back. Because Salty Dubs uses his minefield, but he dies to Bob first. It's a very back and forth fight actually, but I think that Narwhals have got the advantage, and Salty Dubs will go faster than Warthog because they've got a lot of success on Sanctum. Right, okay, because Wonderful still has his tire, and he's waiting around the corner because he's waiting for them to engage and then move it. He was decided to close inside, because Dynamite yet again kills the Mercy. Oh, and the Ash. So that it's probably going to have to be a full reset for the side of things. Well, because Dynamite is just, he's just putting up a clinic at the moment. Kill after kill after kill. He does get hooked, but the Mercy Hill kind of keeps him up, and now the Hug has to run away. We still have not seen this whip tie of Wonderful. He's been very patient with it. Because meanwhile on the side of Kings, because they now have five ults, because they have not used any apart from the minefields. I think they might go for Nano Leaper. NL6 is a big book. It's comboed with the Reaper ult, which is got support. And that's for 3-0. But this is not all for Narwhals, because they are coming back with Bob to contest, Tyre, Chatter, and Diva Bomb. And that card has still got a long way to go.
30 seconds remaining.
Because on the side of Kings though, because they just have force portals, so I can't see them winning this next team fight, but everyone thought fantastic mob by Dynamite. I didn't even realise it was still there. I thought you guys really sneaky players. Because Diva wanted to do by Mr. Zero to make space when he gets the kills. Because Chris Cross moves window up top. It's been some fantastic back foot with Taylor's news, and there we go, because that's the goal by Narwhals. Because a lot better by that.
Score 0-0. Switching sides.
Alright, but this is not over for the side of Kings. Because we do see a lot of like full holds on Gibraltar. It's just that sort of map because of all the high ground and stuff, because it does favour the defending teams most of the time. Okay, because as we wait, because I would expect Dynamite to come out on that Ash again. Because he's pretty uncontested. Because I would expect to see him on dive combat on the side of Kings, but it looks like they're going with the big build.
Well, I suppose I'll be better as usual.
But this is a fantastic place to use double shield to defend actually. Because it should also stop Dynamite a bit and give Ans more of a chance against it. But Dynamite is not on the Ash because he is on the Widow, which is a good choice. Because we do see Obi-Wan on that Lionheart, so he definitely made it work on the defense, so I'm sure he can make it work on the attack also. It's very defensive comp by Kings actually with the Torb as well.
Attackers incoming.
I do like that tool as well, it's very nice. Oh, his wonderful dives to Mowers. You don't normally see the Anna get it up. They're probably not going to raise Res, I would imagine. Because he spawned into this there. Oh no, they don't. Oh no. That wonderful just dies again. And I'm going to watch Ans for a bit because he's halfway to Bob already. The mercy damage goes through Ash is a very dangerous combo indeed. Because Dynamite is switched to hands off, a bit more shield work, which I think he would work. Because it's very hard to breach double shield. I would have expected them to play the reach here and just speeding into it. Because they're just stuck in a kill room now. Because of the Dynamite's signal down the road. Bobby moves early to the press point. This is fantastic defense of Kings. And goes down as he gets back red, as you see there. Alright, because Chris Boss has got his back T-Soul, but he is going to be stuck up. Alright, okay, because the score at the moment is 1-0 to Kings. And this is our second map. Alright, Dynamite kills Ang, which is a big pick. I don't think they have weather light anymore. Because this now means the Reinhardt can push in more when they're evening. Chris Cross kills the Orisa, which is a big kill. Wonderful kills the Mercy. And now this is looking dangerous for Kings because it can be very hard for them to set up again. And that late kill on the Anna is especially dangerous. Alright, Sigma was moved by ML6, but oh no, that's the C9. That's very unfortunate. Nobody wants to lose a game like that. Alright, okay, so now the score is 1-1, because in this code cast, because of our quarterfinal tier 3 game from Saturday. And now we're going to go to the third map, which is Hollywood.
Welcome.
Alright, okay, because talking about the quarterfinals of tier 3, because the second quarterfinal of tier 3 is going to happen Thursday night at 9 PM EST between Adaptation and Nails. because which happens to be the team I manage adaptation, so that's going to be a fun time for me.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Right, okay. So this time we have Kings on defense. Charles is back in to play his great man Baptiste. Ans is on Queen. And Ruby is going to play that Torb again, and Salty Dubs is going to play Reinhardt with M6 by his side. This worked for them well on a village, I think it is on the panel. Right, because on the side of Narwhals, because it's just the same as last time actually. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix. Right. Alright, because they have abandoned the main place though, which is interesting, because that worked the last 2 times, but they clearly valued them all spam damage. Because that was a big son by Ans on Obi-Wan, Immortality is early by Cuscus. Obi-Wan is very staying alive because Zero gets the net. Oh, that's a big hit by Wonderful on the Zarya though. And that's also a fantastic way to push in a new window. They do manage to res the Zarya, the Wonderful kills the Reinhardt. Because the turret gets involved and takes Dynamite. Wesley goes by Cannon. It's a good zone out by Ans actually. Wonderful's up top, he's probably going to go for the fire. So here he comes. And that's a huge double kill on the Zarya. This window is moved by Charles and Torval. They're trying to bring the fight back. Fire Mercy killing Junkrat, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Oh, maybe actually. Mystic Zero does kill Salty Dubs. And Fire Mercy gets a battle about Wes by Crystal. Because some fantastic Baptiste play on it has been shown by both sides. Alright, because Narwhals have now capped the first point. And they have Shatter and Bob online, because I fully expect them to try and hit the high ground of Kings. Yes they are, Obi-Wan is on the move, because Lubu has got a Torb and went on the Soldier. Because MO6 is coming close to his first goal. Alright, okay, because Narwhals prefer to just push the cart as far as possible. Oh, fantastic new stuff there by Dynamite to jump over the top and send it over the balcony. I don't think I've seen that before. Because now Dynamite picks up 2, Wubu kills him, but Wubu should die too. No, he might get out. He gets the bubble, but Dynamite is res by Cannon. Okay, because Mystic Zero has bomb. He's going to get the value. Soldier overcommits and is finished by Wonderful. Oh, poor Charles. He did not want to play that fight with the Diva. They're just going to try and play for shield now and just... They're trying to take the unbelievable because Window is news to try and sugar that shield board. Because very smart purple side of Kings there, very safe. So that's another big kill of Wonderful, and Dynamite is like great position at the top to just waiting in the damage. And Deadeye with the grab, this block by the shield, that's fantastic and what I can do by Fish Block, but just too much damage and the fight goes to the Wave Kings. Alright, because now Ant goes back on the high ground, he can try and get a pick on a Weaver. Unfortunate, because that is possibly part of the nuclear damage nerfing range. I'm not a DPS main, and it's the one reason she'll one shot, so. Right, okay, because we do have Window Visor online, so I'm interested to see if we see this combo. Especially when they push it first. Bomb is new, support from the high ground. They don't all do it though. I like Shatter is news because Lubu is trying to news Visor on the floor. Doesn't get much value. Because Bob is news by Dynamite to do a pincer attack. ML6 is very low inside the bar. Wonderful kills Reinhardt with the tire and Bob finishes with Mercy, and that's a very good clean up fight for the side of Narwhals, who are looking fantastic so far. Because Dynamite again is getting a lot of value. on this arch. Because we're not speaking as much about Obi-Wan today, but this comp is more about the hit chances than enabling the main tank, because you don't see the Anna or Bruce skill that they did last week. He just needs to take the space and contest the other main tank and not die. He's doing a great job of that. Right, okay, because he puts Fox and Window, and uses Jedi to try and take space. They need to wait out Window. Tiger Blues by Wonderful, above them, kills Lucio on there. Got past the space. Immortality was net Lucio, so Wonderful kills Flay, he does die to Charles. He will get less done. This is looking really bad for Kings. Because a 2-minute 30 time bank on a Hollywood is really hard to come back from. Because they need to do a better job of stopping the DPS of Narwhals. Bob is used again by Dynamite because Stu seems to have it on cooldown. And that's the cap. Alright, because this is not over, because it's very possible that Kings can return the favour and do it even faster.
Initiating match.
Right. Okay. Right, okay, so now Kings are on attack and Narwhals are on defense. Alright, okay. Alright, okay, because for anyone just joining us, because the sort of the moment is 1-1 in this match between Walty Kings and Narwhals.
Ready for battle.
Right, okay, because Narwhals are going to stay on the same comp. Because, as I said before, because it's up for Kings to make them shut off.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Alright, because we are seeing Fire Mercy back on that Lucio. And so it seems like Kings are going to try and do a more speed engage with the Reaper Clay. A bit more death volley. I like it. Because their main issue at the moment is Dynamite though. Because they need to shut him down. Because he keeps getting bobbed so fast, it is turning fights into 76.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
And 7v6 is what no one wants to say. Okay, let's watch Salty Dubs actually. I've not watched Salty Dubs yet. I've not seen Kings before actually. It's my first time watching. Alright, because to do the rotation up, they take the high ground, take it off Dynamite and Kingspot, which is good for them. They can't stay for too long though, they need to make a decision. Oh, they have a window early by Charles. Did not notice that. Fantastic rotation of Narwhals though. It does force them to give up points, but Dynamite has Bob yet again. I don't know how he does it. I know he has the Mercy pocket, but that is absolute. Alright, because I definitely know the value of a good Ash player because of controlling my own team, but even I don't see Bops this fast. This is impressive for the DPS of Narwhal. Because Chris Boss has his window, he will probably use it early as soon as they push it. Wonderful do forward. They will probably get the res though, because they're controlling the space well. Yep, res is saved by Wonderful. I have to give it to Obi-Wan because I thought he was at all aggro Reinhardt, but it was clearly showing that he played defense. Wonderful play by Wonderful. Alright, okay, because I think the captain of Kings is in the chat and he's not the most happiest watching this back. And to be honest, I don't blame him because Hollywood can suck sometimes.
Time to raise my APM.
Okay. Alright, because that's a good rotation in. Dynamite got another one, then before gets a double kill. I think Obi-Wan got a shatter there. Fantastic immortality from Quick Swap, boss used by ML6. Yeah, this is not working for Kings because maybe they should go for a more Diver Forge. But I don't know. I don't really know that hero pills or if they can do that. But it's really hard to stop a good Ash player with Pocket. I don't mind the Echo Swap, but they need to get closer first. Okay, I do like the symmetry because to try and close the distance. We'll see if it works, since they have a minute left. And the only option we have is Beat and Shatter, and they're going into window bottom. And Dynamite kills too. I have no idea how he's doing this. I should really be watching him more.
Point me in the right direction.
So what he does is... This is some very aggressive work. He has another Bob online, he's probably going to shut down the attack with the Bob, Windows new. Oh, it's a recut by Woohoo, that looks for one, but the Bob is too much. They're fantastic in the palette. This is kills 2 1, Woohoo kills Obi-Wan. Here's Wonderful with another tire. Kills the Doom, and I think that's going to go to... I think that's it for Kings. And now we'll take the map, and it is now 2-1 in this first of 3 series. Alright, because we are going to New Banny. I will be honest, this is one of my least favourite maps in the game. Because I'm fully expecting Narwhals just to win the same stuff. I'd be shocked if they changed it this time. Alright, because we see Mallard back in for the side of Kings, so I wonder if that means we're going to see Anu again. And Salty Dubs is back on the ball. Alright, so it looks like we're going to see more of the Gibraltar. And Narwhals just have to simple. It's a really good defensive comp though, and it works really well on New Banny as well. So I understand. I do like the Echo picking up Ans though, because Echo can be pretty good on this map. Because I do have certain ideas about certain heroes, but I'm not going to talk them. Echo comes in. It's an attempt to stop Dynamite. He needs to be doing that with ML6 at the same time though. Salty Dubs is behind. And does kill Dynamite, they need to stop this one. The Mercy is low. There we go, because that's the duo down, and Ans kills Wonderful, who was in another form on the side of Kings. Because this is looking at what they're off Kings. Because they clearly have more of that idea. Because that's not to say they didn't on Hollywood, I don't want to be disrespectful. But they clearly need to call as well. Yeah, because Ans is playing very aggro on this Echo. He's close to copy already. He needs to be careful of Dynamite though. And he's going for it though. Fantastic safety though.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Oh, Echo copy is made from Diesel, so that's other one. Yeah, he's not using the bomb, he just wants to get value. Good bomb in. That was a miscommunication by Chris Cross and his flying heart there. That's unfortunate. And now this is happening because ML6 is pushing the cart because, you know, because they already have one diesel up front, so they don't really need two right now. And now they're grouping up, and Wonderful is on the map. I'm not sure what the maze is going to do, actually. Stop salty dubs on the ball, I guess. That's what's the vibe of Ruby. And he's getting a lot of value on this echo. Yeah, he kills the Mercy. These guys are dynamite. But Ruby kills Wonderful and gets away. Car is getting moved slowly. And kills Dynamite again. And the Bond does kill Crisscross, and so this is going to be a full regroup. Oh, and another great kill by Hans, actually.
I'm back in the fight.
Because this is some of the best Echo play I've seen all season. Well, all playoffs. I haven't seen the rest of the season. We didn't cast them. That should be changing next season, though, because we should be getting more games casted out. Because every playoff game, though, will be casted. Because every playoff game will be casted, but you might have to hate, you might fall in self-mod. Huge shatter there off the Hogan one. And that's a nice ice wall by Wonderful. Because that's shades of their play against Queen. Because Minefield is used by Salty Douglas to force them back. And he's decided to be like he's not able to use window, but he gets enough done. Wonderful does fall. Wonderful does have nails when he comes back. So I'm also going to have to eat it. Oh, because Dynamite is on the play because he clearly comes back to it. Clearly he can deal with it. Clearly he can deal with that. Wonderful moves his ult. Sorry about my lack of control there. Totally does, it's still a big issue at the moment. He does get frozen, but he'll need a lot more damage in that. It does make space to find Mercy to get the whereas we do, it's the way it flies. He nearly gets knocked off the map there, I think, and that looks like it's going to be the trap to King. Because that's a fantastic turnaround, because after Hollywood. Because they needed that turnaround, to be honest, because this is match point. Because they do need to win this map. Because to stay in with a chance of getting to the semi-finals. Right, okay. Because now let's see what Narwhals do on attack. Probably more of the May, because like I want to see more Wonderful Tracer because he pulled it out and sacked it. He pulled it out and sacked him on the POW. I got some value. Oh, because you have seen his McCree. Because we did see this to great effect on Volsire last week. Alright, because Lubu is back on that top. And is on that Ash.
Thank you.
Because it does make sense for in the Ash because I feel Echo is a better offense than defense either. But most fighters are like that, to be honest. Alright, but I could see him going back on that Echo because if he feels Dynamite is an issue again. Because he did a fantastic job of shutting down Dynamite's Echo. Because Dynamite was on the hands up, a bit of shield weight, because they were expecting double shield, I think. And they were white. They're doing the typical rotation. Let's watch Ants for a bit. Salty just with the big kill on Obi-Wan. Salty Dog's just pushing them back. Alright, because Anderson's definitely got Dynamite's number since Hollywood. Because it's been a really back and forth contest between the DPS and everyone in general actually. It's been a fantastic game so far. Alright, because we're seeing the wide rotation of the side of Narwhals. I like this rotation because especially when there's nothing to boost you. Oh, ML6 kills Canna and Anne kills Quizpop, and this is going to be a fast fight for the side of
Dein Schutzengel ist da.
yeah, Wonderful just needs to lose that. Alright, because now Anne has a bob, so let's see if he can give Narwhals back a bit of the one medicine. We do see Nano as well. I would assume that would go on the Lionheart, and Wonderful is on the Echo. He's a decent Echo from what I know. So he's going to try and repeat. He's going to try and repeat Anne's thing. With the Torp bullet though, it's going to be more pressure on him. Bob is snoozed on point. Jaggins is snoozed to clear high ground. Anne's killed over one solo. Torp bolt is snoozed. Most of it is eaten by the Superior. Bomb is snoozed. It's hard to get all you versus double silver that way. Crisscross is not in a great position right now. Oh! ML6, because behind the big lock on Dynamite, he finally gets his kill. Because Assaulty Dove pushes in to prove his Lionheart domination. Okay, because we have a minute 20 left. And it is starting to look like that Kings are going to return the favour of the full hold. To keep them in the series and take us to map 5, but it is not over for Narwhals. Because Dynamite is going back to the Ash and Wonderful is going back to the Junkrat and Crisscross is on the Lucios. And so we are seeing more of that comp that got them success on Hollywood. Wonderful being sneaky underneath, he's going to find punish with Lionheart and kills Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is down a little too early here and gets caught in the flank of the diving Junkrat. ML6 was a big kill, Malad was a big kill also, and get flares. ML6 just killing everyone. Because Crisscross dives to Lucio to love. Because it is really hard to throw Lucio into this team comp. I've tried it myself, it does not work well. He now changes to the Baptiste, but he realises he doesn't have time, so he goes back to Lucio, and it looks like... and it looks like Narwhals is going to TP twice. Oh no, he's gone back to Baptiste. I don't think they can touch now.
10 seconds remaining.
No, I think they've wasted too much time. Oh no, they do get the touch, but they get to me first. And the turret cleans up with Bob, because now it is at 8 versus 6. And now it's at 8 versus 2. And now it's over. And that now makes this series 2-2 in this quarter-final tier 3 game between Walty Kings and Narwhals as we go to Busan. My least favourite control map. I am not looking forward to Thursday for my own team. This map, I do not like this map at all.
Now traveling to Busan.
I am looking forward to footing again on Thursday though. I've been doing a lot of casting lately.
Ready for battle.
Because... Alright, because the game I'm talking about on Thursday is the other quarter-final of this tier, which is Adaptation versus Night Owls. Because the winner of this match will face the winner of that match. So it's very important. Alright, because Ans is on the main this time.
2, 1. Round 1.
Alright, so we're just seeing a very classic brawl comp for Kings with the main Reaper. Line Lucio Daria and the Moira. I think this is one of the most IOWL comps you can get, to be honest. And this 6 is on the list, so he is not going to have a fun time. Wonderful. He could get value Wonderful though, because with the higher damage and Dynamite, we all know the good hits on fire. Does fall to Lubu, Obi-Wan goes down, even at the moment, but the Canna falls, Crisscross falls, now it's just the Alyssa off Mr. Zero. And it's starting to look like Kings here, well, it's not starting to look like the art in the first cap on Megabase. I don't think they're going to say on the Alyssa. Yeah, I did not think so. They've now went to the Zarya. it's another great IOWL of Anne's. He's returned under Flick to Wonderful. Fantastic shatter news by Salty Dubs. As he just kills everyone. So that's how you get out. Yep, fantastic for it. Because this is how you want to be playing Brawl, but Wonderful does have the tire. And there's nothing to really stop it apart from the Reinhardt shield or the Ice Wall I get off hands. I'm interested to see. Very sneaky for Wonderful. He's looking for this tire. He's going to wait for his team to push in and then do it this way. Good Ice Wall now, Salty Dubs please die. Ruben comes too, and Mallard gets one with the Mailer Orb, playing Merciful's Obi-Wan, and King's going to hold the fight show. Alright, these Wonderful's had enough of Junkrat because he wants to mirror Anne's in the mirror. Alright, because Anne's is close to his male, so they'll probably lose at this fight. But they do have to be careful close crosses window and shatter combo with Obi-Wan. Oh, they are capping on players though, they want to wait for fine. Dynamite kills Mallard, which is the main healing down, and Dynamite kills will do as well. Now Obi-Wan kills Salty Dubs, Mayo is news, but there's not enough damage there to finish it off. It's great bubble by Mr. Z with the team Obi-Wan. And that's the flip for Narwhals.
Get into position.
Because the sort at the moment is 2-2. This is match fight. Right, Obi-Wan kills Arms. Because both teams have got Glav, but I think Narwhal's got the advantage because they have the hands up. The old Glav Dragon is a deadly combo and there's nothing to really stop it. Both Glavs removed, Dragons removed, I'll just get Narwhal's to win. Yep, there we go. Yeah, there's nothing on the side of Kings to stop that, because you need the Baptiste, even the sound barrier can't really stop it. But that's the trade you do for Moira Baptiste. Because Moira's more fast-paced IOWL and Baptiste is more slower-paced tempo, but he does have immortality in window. Okay, both shatters are traded. But Salty Dubs gets the better of it because of the ice wall of someone, I'm not sure who. Alright, because King's going to take the point as they do some cleanup on the high ground.
Get into position.
Right, okay, because now I expect Kings to play very far up, and they have the mail, so they should win this last fight. Reaper ult is also new. Obi-Wan, there's not enough healing in the game to save him that. Interesting Dragon moves though. Yeah. Dynamite getting some kills with Crisscross. But you know, because the mob wall comp, Kings is always going to win in this sort of matchup. Because that was good effort by Narwhals, because they did sack the from it back. But it was just a shatter difference. Because of Obi-Wan getting his blocked by a Ice Wall and Salty Dubs hitting 6. Alright, because now we go to... I can never remember the name of this. I want to say Shrine or Sanctuary. I think it's Sanctuary. I think Anne's will stay on the Mare, which I think is a good pick. I think both teams will, because Dynamite's going to go back in his Ash. He's been getting value on Ash all night, and this is a good Ash map.
4, 3, 2, 1. Capture the objective.
Alright, because we're seeing the Alyssa Reinhardt again of Narwhals, which I did not expect. Because I do favour the side of Kings in this matchup, to be honest, because yet again they're more aggro as Obi-Wan comes out. Because this is how you beat Ash comp, really. You just play super aggro and stuff. Because that's why I don't like Ash comp in control.
The objective is
Unless there's a lot of high ground like the next map, which is town centre or something. Right, okay, because that's the first flip for Kings. Because Narwhals need to win this round to keep themselves in the series.
This will heal you.
Totally good, he's just going in. He is ice ball though, so he will probably die here. How is this man alive? He whiffs his shatter? Woo, there's no Obi-Wan though, so that's the kill ignition. Ice ball does block off his visor. Trades are coming in. 2 tanks are down. Wonderful is just sitting in his ball, sitting in his ice block and splashes it. You okay? Okay, Mystic Zero has had enough of a whistle drill, and he's now went to Zari's own to match it. Because you do need it. You do need it. You do need it, in my opinion. Because the bubbles give it water value. Because that's the difference in main tanks at the moment. Because the side of Salty Ducks is just getting more support. Because of the support that he has with the Lucio Moira compared to the Mercy that is Dynamite is his and Bronzo. Unlucky by hands. Flying Mercy loses beat, Malad loses Moira. Malad kills Wonderful. But you even fight so they do need to kill Dynamite though. Gathers do fight on 6, Salty Ducks just cleaning off. This is looking very dangerous for Narwhals. Oh wait, because we're going into final fight territory, but Wonderful does have the mailed. Because Mystic Zero goes Diva for the tough. Wonderful loses the mail. A little bit too early. Mercy messes the fly. This is looking like it's going on the side of things. Hands kills Lucio, Totally Ducks kills Diva. Dynamite falls. And right, because there we go. Because there we go, look. Because there we go, because the winners of this first codecast of the playoffs is because Walty Kings because beating Narwhals 3-2 in this tier 3 quarterfinal game. Alright, okay, but this is not over for Narwhals because they now drop down into the losers bracket. Because they drop down to the losers brackets, and they could get a rematch against Kings because further down the line, because if both teams continue to win. Alright, okay, because that is me done for tonight, because we will be back Thursday, because with a live game, which is going to be the side of Adaptation versus Night Owls, because in the other tier 3 final, because the winner of that game, will be facing Walty Kings. And so that's me signing off. So I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight, because in this certifies cast of Saturday's game, and I'd like to wish everyone a good night, and I will see you Thursday, because I will also be playing in that game. Right, okay. Right, okay, because goodbye and good night.